Most professionals approach AI as a high-speed typist. That reliance on prompt engineering creates a solid bottleneck, restricting the true operational potential of the system. We operate on a linear model. A human writes a prompt, feeds the machine, and waits. Spending 20 minutes crafting perfect instructions artificially caps its utility. We must integrate AI as an active node within a larger interconnected system. That requires deploying the machine to interview you, to research context, critique your drafts, and monitor outcomes. Mastering enterprise AI requires discarding the input box and re-architecting the workflow itself. This diagram shows the first node of our new architecture, the data intake protocol. Instead of humans attempting to structure raw information perfectly, we invert the burden. Provide the AI with your desired outcome and command it to interview you. Force it to ask one question at a time until it gathers exactly what it requires. Stop dumping 30 pages of documents. Ask the AI to define the absolute minimum information it needs to make a reliable decision, leaving only critical pieces. As you move through a project, mandate that the AI write the optimal prompt for the next stage of the workflow based on the context it just accumulated. By forcing the machine to dictate its own contextual needs, you eliminate human guesswork and cut the noise out of the pipeline. Once the context is set, the workflow moves to the execution node. Here, raw data is aggressively processed, not simply summarized. Feed the AI high-quality proposals or reports and command it to reverse engineer them. Extract the underlying structural logic, the information hierarchy, and persuasion techniques to build reusable templates. Ban open-ended requests to analyze this data. Force the AI to identify precisely what decisions the information supports, what decisions it does not support, and what missing data would alter the outcome. Direct the system to hunt for extreme anomalies. Ask it to isolate contradictions and pattern deviations that human analysts routinely overlook. This diagram demonstrates progressive compression. Shrink massive 50-page documents down to 5 bullets, but explicitly demand the AI identify exactly what critical information was destroyed during the compression. Execution in this pipeline is a structural mechanism designed to force prioritization and highlight critical deviations. This animated diagram maps out the adversarial engine. It is a deliberate bottleneck designed to systematically attack generated work. Take a newly created draft, open a fresh, sterile AI session, and command the machine to find every flaw. Give it one job: test assumptions and locate weak reasoning without attempting to fix anything. Force the AI to attack its own logic. Once it provides a primary recommendation, instruct it to build the strongest possible counterargument against that exact conclusion. Require the AI to act as an independent adjudicator and evaluate which argument survives scrutiny. Assign specific operational personas to evaluate your proposal from conflicting viewpoints of a CFO, legal, or procurement, determining what prevents approval. Before launching a project, execute an AI pre-mortem. Command the system to assume the project has completely failed 6 months from now, and force it to reconstruct the precise sequence of events that caused the collapse. Institutionalizing this intentional friction through adversarial roles is necessary to neutralize the system's inherent bias toward generic sycophancy. The surviving output now passes through the verification gate, where the sole objective is auditing truth and exposing uncertainty. Creation and critique must never occur in the same pass. Enforce a rigid sequence where the generating AI is isolated from the AI verifying its accuracy. Command the system to explicitly separate its assumptions. It must categorize assumptions based on hard evidence, away from assumptions made simply to bridge gaps. This diagram visualizes confidence by claim. Reject single overall confidence scores. Demand the AI fragment its output, attaching specific falsification criteria and confidence levels to each individual point. Ask the AI directly what critical inquiries are completely missing from the workflow. Identifying the questions you failed to ask often yields the highest value. Integrate a challenge button that forces the AI to explain exactly what conditions would make its final recommendation dangerous, expensive, or entirely wrong. This strict structural verification converts untrustworthy probabilistic drafts into auditable, high-fidelity business intelligence. Finally, chaotic project data must be strictly locked into a rigid, permanent structural grid to prevent organizational amnesia. This visual shows a static PDF document being extracted of its discrete operational parameters as it morphs into an active control system. Command the system to isolate the exact parameters that matter: decisions made, impending deadlines, assigned owners, and unresolved dependencies. Conclude workflows by structuring metadata on the rejected paths and the specific assumptions made during the project. This establishes an organizational memory checkpoint, far more robust than standard meeting minutes. Systematizing memory ensures that AI-driven insights become permanent institutional assets, rather than disposable chat logs. This 5-phase pipeline dwarfs the old linear flow. The sequence shifts the burden of work. A human initiates, AI interviews, AI researches, AI creates, and AI challenges. Then AI simulates stakeholders. The human decides, AI executes, and AI monitors. Deploying this macro architecture removes the burden of perfect prompting from human operators. Rebuilding your infrastructure in this way creates a self-regulating operational system that functions independently of constant human prompt engineering. The transition to enterprise AI relies on rebuilding the foundational infrastructure of how work is processed and verified. This shift moves the technology beyond simple text generation and establishes it as a permanent organizational capability.